What is that intense spark of passion that ignites, tickling your heart every time that it sets alight? It warms your soul. It's an intangible effect that is hard to grasp or even describe in words. It has the power to twist and turn your fate and change it into a life that is truly bright and wonderful. And yet it is so simple, something that everyone feels the moment that they are born. It's a multifaceted mystery that contains immense power and can blind you even. It's rare to find within someone, but when you do find it, it can change your life. It shapes your values and ultimately what holds meaning to you. The memories that form you into your own individual, it is always there, subtle or not, constantly driving you and giving you the power, inspiration and motive to always continue even when times are hard. It's a raw ball of emotion that decides your life and makes it all the more unique. I guess there is no better way to fit it into a word other than love. It's a simple 4-letter construct, and yet it bears so much weight and meaning to the point that there are only so many things in the world that you can award it to. The phrase "I love you" on the outside is just 3 words, and as a foreign or a robotic creature that does not understand the meaning of emotion will not find much weight within the sentence. However, as a fervent human who can comprehend the definition behind feeling, it is powerful and is so heavy that it can even be embarrassing. At the start of Violet Evergarden, our main protagonist is not able to understand it, because for her whole life she had been treated as a tool, a robot who was not deserving of any other purpose in life but to simply fight in wars and comply with orders given by generals or majors. And the one solitary person, Gilbert, who she had grown a strong bond with, had stated the words "I love you" to her before he had gone missing in action. But as a result of all the mental trauma, she was not able to react properly. And so after the war that she had fought in for so long had finally ended, she began upon a mission to find what he had meant by saying those words. She took up the job as a doll, someone who would write letters as requests from clients, and took a course to try and compose letters that would be able to convey meaning. It was hard, and at first they were robotic and held a very similar mannerism compared to the language that would be used to report to surgeons in a war. But as she continued to write and speak to clients, she began to understand humans were complex and at times unpredictable. They are fragile and can shed a tear at the smallest things and get mad over the most insignificant matters. But they were what made people unique and amazing at the same time, because being one meant that life was always exciting. Something was always happening, and it was what made the most ordinary of days bright, because even if what they do may not always make the most sense, it rids their life of bleakness. But as someone who was previously a fighter whose only 2 objectives were to be successful in missions and to stay alive, it was very hard to comprehend. The journey of understanding would prove to be amazingly difficult with constant barriers and obstacles to get through. However, it was partly why it was so rewarding, and definitely the reason as to why we as the viewers felt so happy and accomplished at the end when Violet Evergarden stated the few yet powerful words.
私は今愛してるもん。少しはわかるのです。
It was a statement that proved her growth throughout the series, and as she said it, tears flooded her eyes filled with happiness and accomplishment. She was finally at peace with herself, and she was able to kill her inner trauma, and her original self was finally able to be salvaged. And in the moments that she said those words, she realized that her whole journey was driven by love. All of the determination that she had to find what Gilbert meant in his last few words were because she loved him. She cared about him enough to go through all of the hardships and pain, so that even if people yelled at her, called her useless and unfeeling, she could bear it and carry on because she was motivated by Gilbert enough to keep working and not give up in order to find out what he meant. And as the episodes went on, those 3 words slowly began to gain more and more weight. And as the episodes went on, you could see her tears and smiles appear on her face more and more. Each scene was a development so that by the end she could fully understand. And so the moment that she finally realized what they meant, it was so satisfying. It was a culmination of all of her efforts throughout months of hardship. The answer that she had been searching for months on end had been right in front of her the whole time, and yet she was unable to see it until long later. It was not that she was incapable of feeling, it was simply that she could not understand what emotions were. but through the help of her other co-workers and the moral support of everyone who surrounded her during her journey, she was able to understand. By writing letters for clients, she realized what affected people in certain ways, and in the end was able to not only understand, but once again become humane. Violet Evergarden was an emotional rollercoaster. Every episode was like another in-depth arc and held a complex narrative on its own. So in the end, when they all slowly combined into one big achievement, it was very satisfying to watch. So when I finished watching the anime and the credits began to roll, I got off my chair with a happy and full heart and with a smile on my face. What Violet goes through in the show is something that I will never be able to fully empathize with. It is very distant to the peaceful and carefree life that I have come to believe as a normal. But despite that, it gave me perspective in some sense. It showed a journey of someone that was so vastly different from how I live, and seeing her go through such a tough barrier gave me humility as well. Coming across a show that is this rich in so many aspects is quite rare, and I was genuinely immersed into the tale of a girl, her quest, her search to find the meaning of love through worn letters. Thank you to all of my amazing supporters who have been helping me. It is due to all of you that I am able to stay motivated, and so I guess I could say that I love you all too if you have made it this far into the video. And since you have made it into the outro, that probably means that you enjoyed this video, so consider dropping a like on your way out. If you feel like you have something interesting to say, then be welcome to leave anything in the comment section. I respond to all of my comments. If you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing and ring that bell. Otherwise, that's really all I have to say for this video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I hope to see you very, very soon. Peace.